Hello, this is Sue Fellows along with my buddy Harry here, who just decided that he needed to come up and help me. So, okay, you get two for the price of one. I wanted to take a few minutes today, or hopefully just a few minutes, and talk about how to open your schedule once you've been hired so that you can potentially get some students. Always a good thing here. There's always a lot of questions about how do I do this? What do I hit? What is a priority booking? How will I know if I've gotten one? What pops up after a class is done? And the ever elusive frenzy. So I'm going to try to make sense of it. However, God only knows if I am awake enough to do this coherently. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So in a minute, I am going to start sharing my screen with you because I think that that's going to be a whole lot easier than me just trying to describe dates and this and that. And there we go, Harry. Throw the bunny on the floor. Awesome. Yay. Now run away and pretend that I didn't do this. Gotta love cats. Okay, so much for the diversion. So, when you start with VIPKid, I always went into the computer portal. Yes, you can get to everything on your phone or on an iPad if you have downloaded the applications. iPad and iPhone applications are fabulous for me for checking certain things. I don't do my scheduling there because, frankly, I really like the visual appeal in the portal from either the new app or I get to it through Chrome. Easier. I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. Now, as I'm going to start sharing my screen, one thing to keep in mind with VIPKid is that their week starts on Monday through Sunday. So that was a little bit off from me at first in trying to figure out these frenzies and what to open and all that stuff. So let's start here. And today actually is a Sunday and tonight is a frenzy. So we're going to get to that too, but I figured that would make it easier to explain. Now this is the week that just finished. Yes, it just finished. Wow, I'm tired. So today it is not afternoon time in Beijing, so I still have classes that are showing green as unfinished. However, I really did just do all of them today. So this is the current week, and these are the classes that I did. When you hit the next, you're taken to the exact following week. Now mine are already booked. This is from the previous frenzy and from students coming in. However, you notice that there are grayed out spaces. There are kind of a tannish colored spaces. There's a light orange and a dark orange. Each of these is significant in that the white spaces are times that you can open and see if you can book. They are the lesser likely to book time slots. Not saying that they're impossible, but they are the least likely to consistently book. The slots that you see in this funny orangey tan color are what they call peak times. Those are times that are very highly likely to be booked. I am in the Eastern time zone. So if you're in a different time zone, your times are going to differ from what I'm showing you. That kind of always gets a little bit flippy too. But just kind of bear with me and, just think in your own mind. If you're over on the West Coast, your hours are going to be 3 hours ahead of me. So you notice on Friday nights and Saturday nights, you are able to book in a peak time from 9 o'clock Friday night until 9:30 on Saturday morning. Yes, you can work all night if you so choose. A lot of people do. I don't, which is why you don't see anything open here. You can work overnight Friday night, overnights on Saturday, and into Sunday morning. We have these orange slots, which are peak times. Those are the slots that are the absolute most likely to book, all right? So you have a lot of options. A lot of people have different recommendations when they first start. I open every single slot up. Oh, I opened from here to here. I did only overnights. I only opened 3 or 4. Is there any one real key to absolutely getting booked? Probably not that I know of. And this is not the video for how to get booked. There are tons of those. This is how to open slots and other things associated with it. So it is very easy to open up a slot. As I said, I'm going to show you here on the computer. I will pull up the phone app so you can take a look at it. But again, I don't do it because I like how this looks. It's easy for my brain, and we need easy on the brain early in the morning. To open up a slot, you come up here to the left-hand corner and hit unlock. And then you can pick the slot that you want to open and click on it. You'll notice that a time comes up, and that simply means that this slot is now open and available to be booked. There's a little box right after the time, and if you check that box, that is the 24-hour box, and it is saying that this can be booked right up until the time of the class starts. Now this, some people are going to argue, and some people are going to tell you it can never happen, and some people are going to tell you a bunch of other things. I am telling you from my experience, when I have had that box checked, I can possibly get a class right up until a few seconds before it starts. Whether it's a regular master class, major class, or a trial. Is it supposed to? No. Has it happened? Absolutely. So if you are clicking this 24-hour box when you open things up, make sure that you are coming into any of the portals, checking to see if you have gotten a student, checking to see if you have refreshed every so often to make sure you're not going to miss a class. You don't want to get a teacher no-show. It'll cost you money, and it goes against your 6 cancellations. So one hint, if you're big on checking off the 24-hour boxes, which are great, but you're not so wonderful about getting up in the morning, uncheck them before you go to sleep. And then you don't have to worry about it. They can't book at that point if you take the 24-hour off. When you are done and have added your slots, simply come back up here and hit lock. That should alleviate the problem of some mysterious 1 o'clock in the morning class getting booked that you had no idea you even opened up in the first place. Yes, it has happened. That is why the lock and unlock feature is there. It is supposed to be preventing this. Now, I just showed you how simple it is to open up a time slot using the computer app, which personally I love. Now I'm going to come over to my phone, and I have an iPhone, so if you are on an Android device, it'll look a little different, I'm assuming. However, you're going to come up to the top row where it says time slot. Click on that, and this opens up. And this is the same representation of the booking that's on the screen. However, it's not laid out, in my opinion, for my visual brain as nicely. I've messed up when I've tried to use this because for whatever reason, I probably didn't look at it properly. But what you're going to find is somewhere towards the top of the screen that I cannot see that I'm showing you, there is a lock. This. You would touch on that. That will unlock it so that you can then come over to a time slot and open it up. You would just click on it. When you're done, you click lock again. The iPad is very similar to this, so I'm not as proficient with that, but pretty much that's what you do. All right, you can open up your schedule for the following 2 weeks. So again, today is the 27th, and we're at the end of this week. Hit next week, and it goes from the 28th to June 3rd. Those slots can all be opened, and parents are able to book at will, at random, whenever they feel like at that point. The week following, which is June 4th through June 10th, you can open all your slots up. However, this is the week that the frenzy takes place for. The frenzy happens at midnight, my time, so noontime, Beijing time on Monday. And basically, VIPKid opens the lines so that parents can come in and book their favorite teachers. Hence the frenzy where sometimes it's midnight and you have 0 bookings. At 10 past, you have 100, or all of your slots are filled. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but that's why they call it a frenzy, is frankly, all the parents come in and try to grab up their favorite teachers. All right, so let's try to make this super easy. Today is the 27th. The frenzy for tonight is the 10th, the 11th through the 17th, okay? It is not, it is the 4th through the 10th. Wow, so I'm already gonna confuse you guys because, you know, that's what I like to do, and this might not have been quite the best idea. But the current week we are on is the 21st through the 27th. Current week. 1 week out is the 28th through the 3rd, and frenzy is for the week ending on Sunday following. This does not change. That is always for how the frenzies work. Now, there's things that also are happening with that frenzy week. And there's no right or wrong way about what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to tell you how I do it because it's easy for me. Now, you can open the slots for the week of the upcoming frenzy. Parents of non-regular students are unable to book until the frenzy. However, if you have taught a student, there is a cute little pop-up that comes up when you close your classroom. And this is what it says. Do you want to open this slot now? And it tells you 2 weeks forward from the class at the time you last taught the student, i.e. the class you just finished. You are able to either open it now for this child or decide later. I use this as a way to let my regular students that I would like to continue teaching the opportunity to book the class prior to the frenzy. I have a few regulars that have mentioned how much they love this. The thing comes up on their end too, from what I have been told, and they just click on and they book. Works out really nicely. If you happen to hit decide later, this pop-up goes into oblivion and the slot does not open. Now, in the same way that hitting open now holds that spot prior to the frenzy for that specific student, if you hit decide later and prior to the frenzy you go in and open all of your slots, that student that you may not have wanted to teach again can in fact come back in prior to the frenzy and book you. Just kind of, I know that that sounded a little wonky, but it's happened and it's something to be aware of. Now, one other thing that you may be hearing about with the bookings is priority booking, because what I just explained to you is not priority. It just always pops up if your slots are closed after you've taught a class. A priority booking is a student's parents that want to book you for a specific class time that is not open at this point. So you're going to get a pop-up message if you have the app set for notifications on your phone. On the computer app, up here in the corner, you can see it says priority booking and there's the number 3. It means right now I have 3 requests for priority bookings so they can get in ahead of the frenzy tonight. Here on the schedule, you can see that it's requested, requested, requested. I can look at this and make sure it's a day I'm working. It's a time that I'm available. And yay, they all are. So you very simply go up and click on priority booking, and you get a screen with however many of them there are. It tells you the date, the time, the student's name, and how much longer you have to accept this. If you ignore it, it just kind of goes away. And if you refuse, you are allowed to check off on boxes why you can't do this. And there's also a little place where you can type in, grandmother's wedding? Oh yeah, because lots of our grandmothers get married, but you get the gist. So I'm gonna come in here and just simply accept, confirm, accept, confirm, accept, and confirm. All right, when I go back over to the bookings tab, we're gonna see that for that week of our upcoming frenzy, those spots are now green, which means they have been successfully booked and those parents do not need to do anything further. All right, so, again, to open up your slot, hit unlock, click on the time that you want the class, and click lock when you're done. It's that simple. If you're watching this, you're probably a little bit newer to VIPKid. So you are going to hear a lot about the frenzy. And a lot of teachers, when they first start, get very discouraged because weeks can go by of a frenzy and you either get one or two or more than likely none. Happens to just about all of us. It was my 10th frenzy before I ever got a booking. Through the frenzy, I had been teaching right along, but every week, if you're in the Facebook groups, there's, all these big stickers and everybody's putting, oh my God, I had this great day. And how many did you get? And you're seeing all these things of people getting 20, 30, 40, 50, however many slots they had open. And I'd just be sitting there going, week 1, big goose egg. Week 7, goose egg. All right. It happens. It's really for when you're a little more established and have regulars that really want to book you. But that said, you know what? There's some people who have been, oh my God, I've been teaching for 3 minutes and I have 100 bookings from the first frenzy I ever went into. Yes, exaggerated to make a point, but it happens. No big rhyme or reason with it. So if it takes a couple of frenzies, don't get discouraged. It really and truly kind of just happens like magic. 1 week, you get nothing, you get nothing, you get nothing, and all of a sudden, every slot of yours is filled. And then every week thereafter, you're getting filled or close to filled. And it really just doesn't make a whole lot of sense other than somebody found you and woof, there you go. So I know this was quick. I know I talk really fast at times and I know I'm really, really tired. However, I think that I've answered the majority of the questions that we hear over and over. I've shown you how to open slots. I've talked to you about the frenzy. I confused you with my calendar. We've talked about priority, what comes up after class, and 24-hour boxes. I think I've covered everything. If I haven't and I've confused the heck out of you even more, shoot me over a PM on Facebook or feel free to send me an email. Email's listed down below this. All right, guys, congratulations on being hired. Have wonderful times, lots and lots of bookings, and lots of frenzy fairy dust for you. Take care now. Bye-bye.